Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been away for so long. Just had some pretty demanding work commitments, which means that I haven't had a lot of energy to dedicate to making YouTube videos. But I'm back, and so is my Magna. So a video that I've just published, I filmed over Christmas, was putting my Magna into storage. So I was in a garage under a weatherproof cover. The weatherproof cover is probably overkill, I think, although I did keep it nice and clean. I have been driving it this week, so it's not that clean anymore, but when I took it back out, it was as if I had just put it in for the most part. And but I'm thinking about just trying to sell that cover and just getting an interior, kind of a showroom style cover. So it's not weatherproof, but it's much lighter fabric, and you can probably just chuck it in the washing machine. Whereas this one I have, you really can't. So anyway, the car has been sitting in storage for about 3 months up until last weekend, the Easter long weekend. And I just thought I'd do a 20-year ownership update. So this month, April 2023, marks 20 years of owning my Mitsubishi Magna. In terms of how well the car stored, very well in fact. So over that 3-month period, it only lost about 2 psi in the tyres. I brought my inflator with me, but to be honest, didn't really need to use it. Only dropped from 35 to 33. Given that you are disconnecting the battery, you do need to follow the reload procedure. Otherwise, the car will constantly stall when you come to a stop, and it becomes infuriating. So make sure that you follow that sequence. I think it's in the owner's manual, if not online. Otherwise, it just becomes painful because the car just keeps stalling every time you come to like a set of lights or something, or you're wanting to pull into the driveway. Just make sure you follow that. In terms of things that I've done since my last update and what I've got to do, I'll just talk about that now. So over the Christmas break, I bought some LED headlights. So my Kia Cerato takes its H7 bulb, as does this car here. So these were originally bought for the Cerato, but they don't fit. It's a different connector. So here they are, Night Eye. Got a pretty good reputation and fairly cost effective. Just bought those online. Given they didn't fit the Cerato, I thought I'll throw them into the Magna. And I do prefer them over the HID kit just because there's less kind of wiring and stuff that you need to basically connect up and have sitting in the engine bay, so you can't even tell really. It just looks standard, and I'll just switch them on. You can hear the little fans going, the heatsink fans. But yeah, now they match the driving lights there, so pretty happy. I think it was less than $30 delivered. So as you can see there, so standard fit. Things I need to get done is have a look at these horns. So if you have a Magna, you'll know that the factory horn is weak as piss, and I've had these dual horns on the car from pretty early on, but only one is working, so I'm only getting one note, not two. So it should be a dual note horn. So I need to have a look at that, see whether the horn itself is gone or it's just a connection. The mirror switch is playing up, so I can't actually get the right hand mirror to move up or left or right. So the right hand mirror moves up and down, not left and right. I disassembled the mirror switch, so it just pulls out here. I don't know if I can do it. Yep. So it's just got that surround that clips in, and then the clip itself. So I couldn't get it to work. I thought it was a bad contact, but no luck. So I've just got a new one coming from eBay, well, new secondhand. This is a bit random, but I did the headlining, I think a couple of years ago now, with some really nice material, which is on the door cards as well. Got a nice foam backing, and it's held up really well. I mean, the car's always undercover unless I'm driving it or can't park undercover. But I use that Super 77 3M glue adhesive, and no problems whatsoever. But because it's black, it tends to show up kind of dust and fluff and things like that. So I bought one of those lint rollers and just rolled the headliner to get all that off. So if you're wondering how to get the fluff and whatnot off a black headliner, just buy a lint roller. That'll be the trick. So the main reason I've got the car here still is two things. So I'm going to get the window tint redone next Friday. This tint here is the original tint from 2004. I got it done in Gosford at Solace. It's 20% VLT, so they wouldn't give me a receipt or warranty. The tint had a lifetime warranty, but they couldn't give me any documentation, given that 20% at that time was illegal. Now it's not. But 35% back then was the darkest you could go. So anyway, it's held up very well. I mean, just a few little kind of nicks from me over the years, just accidental kind of nicks on the tint, and kind of around these edges here. Can't really pick it up, but there's a bit of kind of cloudiness around the edges of the glass. And originally I was just going to get the back window done, which is why I removed the tint. But just do it once, do it properly. Yeah. So I'm getting 20% done on the actually, sorry, 18% done on the side windows, because that's kind of the closest he has to 20%. And I'm still deciding on the rear window whether I go with 18% or 10%. Now, when you take the car in for rego, depending on who's doing the check, they may put the tint meter up against the glass and it sits over, right? And then they get a reading through the glass. But the installer said they rarely if ever bother to do that on the rear window, because you can't actually kind of get the actual device on both sides of the glass. So they just assume that what's on the side windows is on the rear window. So in theory, you could go darker on the rear window and they'll never pick it up. So I'm thinking about testing that theory. So we'll see. It's only because when you look at the car through the front, it's not as dark. Sorry, when you look at the car through the rear window, it's not as dark because you've got the light coming in through the front windscreen, which is not tinted. So to kind of even it out with the side windows, which when you look through on the side, you've got the tinted on the other side, making it darker. I just thought I'd go with a darker tint on the rear window. In terms of removing it, 19 years, I thought it was going to be really painful, but it actually wasn't. It came off in a number of pieces, as you would expect, but it wasn't too bad. And I think what helped was there was only like slight kind of horizontal bubbling along kind of the bottom edge, but given the car's been garaged for so many years, I think that's kind of what helped there. I know there's kind of techniques on YouTube about putting the car in the sun with the black plastic bag and all that kind of garbage, but honestly, I just wouldn't waste your time. So yeah, for the residue, so the remaining tint and the glue, I just used eucalyptus oil. It's not a product plug. You can buy it wherever you like. You can get it in a supermarket, wherever. But this made light work. So just dabbing this onto a cloth, microfiber, or any other type of cloth, chucks, whatever. It just dissolves the glue and the rest of the tint just comes off. So the main issue is just kind of working in this area of the parcel shelf, just a little bit challenging to kind of get right down there. But what I did was I removed the rear seats and the parcel shelf, so that made it easier. In terms of when I put the car in to get tinted, you know, obviously I asked him, do you want me to remove the seats and the parcel shelf? He said, no, don't worry about it, but I'm going to do it anyway because I don't want anything getting accidentally damaged. He sounds like a decent guy, but I've had the car inadvertently damaged before when I got some repair work done, and they went to take off the door trim, and they ripped the door trim off without removing the door cup and just snapped one of my door cups. So yeah, I'd prefer to take the precaution and just remove anything that could possibly be damaged. So these all come out very quickly. I'm going to remove the door trims because they do need to be removed, he said. So I'll remove those before I drive the car down. So yeah, got to protect my car, especially given parts are becoming more and more scarce. So that's the window tinting update. So I purchased this car from Booth's Mitsubishi at the time in Gosford. They've since moved to North Gosford, but they're still around. And I paid $21,888 before on-roads, and the underbody protection I got conned into, although I did resist the overpriced tint, getting that done elsewhere. I traded in my, with regret, Toyota Corolla RV Seeker 1997. I don't regret buying my Magna, but I do regret having to trade in my Corolla for it. It would have been nice if I could have kept both, but that was not possible back then. But I'll put a photo up on the screen. It was quite a smart looking little hatchback, but it was a little bit too cramped for me back then because I was carrying quite a few extra kilos, and just with the commuting, I just wanted something with a bit more space and better performance. So the Magna was a remanufactured vehicle. At the time they called it Diamond Care, if you remember the promo back then. In addition to the 3-year manufacturer's warranty that restarted with the purchase of the vehicle, it came with, and I'll try and remember everything, but if I've missed anything, let me know. New battery, service, 2 sets of keys with remotes, new carpet, new tyres, and a little badge on the boot lid, which I've since removed along with the other ones. So I think that is everything that comprised a remanufactured Magna / Diamond Care. But if there's anything else that was included that you can remember, please let me know. Alright everybody, so yeah, that's my update for now. Sorry for the rambling on, but it's been a few months since I made a video, so I just wanted to kind of talk about a few things. I'll try and post more often. I've got a few videos in the pipeline, so I'll give you an update once I have the car tinted, what I decide to do with the suspension, and I've also got plans to restore the window surrounds so they go kind of from the A to the C pillar. So I'll make a video about how I do that. But for now, yeah, any questions or comments, leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching. Cheers.